back to CB7. My name is Faith Tran.
And my name is Eva Vo.
And we're back with another breaking news. Shocking facts have resurfaced about the 1932 Supreme Court case that changed the future of the rights of the accused.
That's right, the case Powell v. Alabama. A verdict so controversial it is still a debatable and relevant case that Americans still argue about today. Faith, what can you tell us?
Thank you, Eva. We're here in Scottsboro, Arizona, where 9 youth black men have been accused of a serious crime. The atmosphere is tense and justice seems to be on the brink. Eva, what do you think?
Let's take a closer look inside the courtroom. But first off, what exactly are the rights of the accused? Connecting to the Fourth Amendment, the rights of the accused protect the natural rights of those who are prosecuted. It prevents any investigations and trials from being blown out of proportion and maintains a balance between liberty and law enforcement. The use of these written rights is commonly mentioned in the context of police investigations, interrogations, and arrests. Cybersecurity is also a commonly protected right for the accused as well as the normal civilians.
But back in 1932, these protections were not always guaranteed, especially not for those 9 young defendants in this case. As we go into the courtroom here in Scottsboro, it becomes very clear that these rights were far from respected.
This court is in session. Today, we review Powell v. Alabama, where 9 black youths were accused of raping 2 white women. Their trials were rushed, all finished in one day. The question: did this violate the 14th Amendment's due process clause?
Your Honors, the state asserts that these 9 young men committed a brutal crime abroad that train. The evidence presented shows that the defendants acted together and that the victims identified them without hesitation. We ask that this court to uphold the conviction and deliver justice for the wrongdoing these boys inflicted.
Your Honor, the defendants had almost no legal help. Alabama law required a lawyer, but the attorneys barely spoke to them. They were given no time to find proper counsel, and the appointed lawyers did nothing to defend them.
They're young and didn't understand the process. The trials were too rushed to be fair.
We didn't even meet our lawyer before the trial. We had no chance.
We find their due process rights were violated.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court agreed. The defendants were denied a fair trial and proper clause. Court adjourned. Can you believe that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the 9 accused? It's honestly so crazy that they would side the 9 black men.
Their right to due process was protected under the Constitution.
Their rights for being accused were protected under the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment. In this case, however, it is mainly the 14th Amendment and the right of due process.
What's due process? Matter of fact, what even are 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments? Are you sure you're not making up random words?
Due process ensures no one is stripped of their rights before, during, and after the trial. The government must follow this necessary procedure when a person's natural rights are not threatened.
And as for the 5th Amendment, it says that individuals are given the right for a grand jury in serious cases, protection from double jeopardy, the rights against self-incrimination, due process, and compensation when private property is taken.
Wait, so the 5th Amendment and the 14th Amendment both have something to do with the due process?
Yeah, the 5th Amendment's due process clause applies to the federal government, while the 14th applies to just the state government.
And the decision didn't just help these 9 boys, it changed the rights of the accused across the country. After this case, states were required to provide effective legal counsel in capital cases, not just appoint a lawyer last minute or ignore the right entirely.
So it's set a standard that poor or disadvantaged defendants actually get proper representation in serious trials?
Yes, Powell v. Alabama established that the right to counsel is essential in cases where someone's life is at stake, laying the foundation for future cases like Gideon v. Wade, right? It was a major step forward towards fairness in the justice system.
Wow, so this case basically made sure that the government can't just skip steps when someone's freedom or life is on the line.
Oh, this channel is so boring. I'm gonna watch the new reality show.
Ariana, we didn't ask you some questions about the missing little kid. Where were you last night?
I don't know. I was in your.
Just tell us what happened.
I wasn't there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ariana, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you can say can be used against you in court. You also have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, the state must provide one. Do you understand these rights?
Oh shoot, I didn't even know I could do that.
Oh my god, did you hear what happened with Ariana?
Oh my god, that's basically what Miranda vs. Arizona is all about. The police can't just interrogate someone and use their statements against them without knowing their rights first.
So, like, if Ariana had confessed without knowing her rights, it wouldn't even count in court?
Exactly. That's why police must give the Miranda warning before questioning anyone in custody. It protects the accused from self-incrimination and ensures fairness.
Thank God she has you, Taylor. I can't even imagine Ariana getting arrested over a lip kit she didn't even steal.
Alright, we'll follow procedure. No coerced confessions.
Oh my god, you wouldn't believe it. Okay, so it all started like March 13th, like 1963, and Ernesto Miranda got arrested, like full on police pickup. It was crazy. And everyone was whispering because the cops think he got involved in this huge case, like a murder and a rape case, which is like crazy. Like in Hollywood, y'all do that? Like, it was very serious, and he was taken straight in for questioning.
Oh my gosh, and get this. They interrogated him for 2 hours. No breaks, no lawyers. Walking in, nothing. It's just him and the officers. And by the end of it, he signs a confession. Writes the whole thing down. It's like the moment in a show when the music gets super intense.
But here's the twist. Nobody told him anything about his rights. Not the right to stay silent, not the right to a lawyer, nothing. In the Arizona courts, they're just like, well, he didn't ask for a lawyer, so it's fine. And everyone else is just sitting there like, excuse me?
So then it goes all the way to the US Supreme Court. These justices are literally debating whether the interrogation was constitutional. And in a super close 5-4 decision, they're like, nope. The whole thing violated his rights. It's a big moment. Like the season finale twist you didn't see coming.
Because of that ruling, we now have what everyone calls the Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent, anything you say can be used against you, blah, blah, blah. Officers have to read those before questioning anyone. You can only give up those rights if you actually know them.
It changed every police interrogation forever. Total game changer.
Okay, so after all that Miranda drama, my brain needs a reset. Anyone else?
Same, but honestly, these cases keep getting messier and messier. Like, every time I think I've heard the wildest one, another one pops up.
Speaking about messy, have you guys heard about that one Pung case? It was crazier than I ever expected.
Wait, is that the one where someone lost their house over a tax mix-up?
Yeah, and the county didn't just take the house, they kept all the money from selling it too.
Wait, that sounds illegal. Like, really illegal.
That's exactly why it turned into a constitutional case. It gets deep, but the story is kind of shocking.
All right, pause. Let's break it down. What actually happened with Pung versus Isabella?
When Chloe explained it, it sounded like peak government drama. I was hooked.
So the dad, Timothy Pung, died in 2004, and his house still had a tax break called the Principal Residence Exemption?
Yeah, but then in 2010, this tax assessor, Patricia DePriest, decides to retroactively cancel that tax break for the past 3 years.
And she claimed the estate needed an affidavit.
Wait, like an oath?
Yeah, exactly. But like, even though it didn't need, it created so much confusion.
The Michigan Tax Tribunal actually overturned her in 2012, but she's denied the exemption again. And that second denial made the tax bill $2,200. Like, that's barely one of our makeup drawers.
Crazy, right? And because of that bill, the treasurer, Stephen Pickens, started foreclosure proceedings. Totally unfair.
And then the house got auctioned for $78,008, which is more than the tax debt.
The Isabella County kept the whole $76K. They didn't return any surplus money to the Pung family.
You know what's crazier than Kim losing her diamond earring? When Michael Pung sued, saying that it violated his 5th Amendment taking clause and the 8th Amendment excessive fine clause. And the district court agreed on the taking clause.
He gets the surplus money, but not extra based on the market value. And the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed that the whole decision. They didn't even change anything.
So basically, the county can't keep all the money from someone's house over tiny unpaid taxes.
This sets a major precedent. The government can't profit off foreclosures like that.
No, they cannot.
Overview. How have these laws taught court cases changed the lives of Americans now? After Powell versus Alabama, the development attention of fundamental rights to due process for individuals became guaranteed. This meant that defendants and/or all Americans accused of any crime should be given a reasonable amount of time to secure counsel in their defense for a fair trial. Miranda v. Arizona case established the Miranda warning, which granted criminal suspects the right to counsel, even if they cannot afford it, and remain silent. Pung v. Isabella County case violated the Constitution by taking more than it was owed. 5th Amendment taking clause. Property owners should be entitled to just compensation based on fair market value when the government takes their property. These court cases and many others have enhanced the constitutional rights of Americans and has made the justice system and more resistant to corruption. Rights of defendants have greatly expanded since the first ever Supreme Court cases and continue to grow to this day. Americans are now guaranteed legal representation, have a fair, speedy trial, due process, and much more. These laws and rights have protected people from government abuse, made the system more fair, and overall protected innocent people.